But yeah, it's about I would say more about work ethic.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of an old school throwback in my generation.
Right.
I operate more like the Rat Pack, where I shake your hand, I look you in the eye.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there, even if people die. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll go to the funeral later. A lot of modern guys, they came up in the internet age, so everything's relative.
Right.
So yeah, you got 5 million followers, but you haven't played a gig. You haven't sold a CD.
Yeah,
you haven't been on a magazine. I'm the total opposite. So I built my career in real life, and I put very little stock into social media, though I use it very well.
Right.
So I'm more interested in actually doing stuff.
Well, I like that.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your backgrounds.
Of course.
Eddie is curious. Where are you from?
Where am I from? I'm from Hoboken, New Jersey, and ethnically Cuban and Puerto Rican with some Danish.
Whoa.
So yeah.
Your family gets around.
Yeah. Most people think I'm like Native American. Some lady. Oh yeah. While I was trying to fix my car myself, like a genius, some lady came up to me and she goes, because I have Florida tax, she goes, "You're far from Seminole country, aren't you?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm here from some wampum, but I was going to say I'm here for white girls in wampum." Well, it's kind of touchy. You don't know how these chicks react these days.
Who would say that to somebody?
Just racist
far from
people.
Seminole
Racist
country.
people. You're far from Seminole country, boy.
Yeah, you know what? That's America for you.
Now come
I'm going to
into my
gong that.
wagon.
We're gonging that.
Yeah, but no, I'm more of a shticky type of comedy guy, so I don't offend easy,
Right.
and I don't mind offending others.
Right.
So that kind of rubs people.
So you and Eddie are born from the same.
Yeah, I don't care about being offensive, but I just like some people. Like I would never go up and say that to somebody. But like not because I would. It's like why would I say that?
Yeah.
Like you can't offend me. It's impossible to offend me.
I think it was a pickup line.
But
I think she was trying to like say hello, and I'm like, that was weird.
But we're glad you made it.
I'm glad. And
Looks like he made it. Eddie's like, I got nothing. Let's talk about Sergio. Let's talk about your music background.
Okay.
So how did you get into playing music? Did you start with guitar?
Yeah, I started with guitar. Surprisingly enough, when I was 4, I knew what I wanted to be.
What?
So I just figured, I don't know how, just watching MTV, I figured out how to play guitar. So I never played until I was 16.
Wow.
But the minute I got a guitar, it sounded like gibberish, but it was super fast, and it made sense, right? I learned backwards than everybody else. I learned how to play solos, scales, and then learn chords. So I learned theory like 5 years into it.
How the hell did you do that?
I have no idea. But that's just...
So that's basically learning to run before you can walk.
Yeah. What are these?
Yes.
These are feet. I've been using them all along.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So and then when I filled in the theory, then I grew a lot more because I was able to know actually what I was doing. But it was never. It was always more about being a rock star that was good.
Right.
Than being like a theoretical genius, But I filled in those gaps and it made me a better player.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
I've never heard of somebody starting with solos.
Yeah, exactly. Like kids in because I think I got my first guitar and when Smashing Pumpkins had a Siamese Dream out, like in high school.
Great record.
So everybody was struggling to play like Disarm, and I was playing Cherub Rock by ear. Look, I figured it out. You just put your fingers here, and it does this, and that was just me,
No teaching?
No
nothing?
teaching. I went to one guy that taught me an A chord and a C. I said, no, that's terrible. I don't want to do that. So I just got a Kill 'Em All tab book later. And I was like, you mean these things? Oh, they hurt. No.
Well, if you have to pick a Metallic album, that's the one to do.
That's a good record.
Yeah.
I like Injustice for All, though, too. That's
a great record. Did you hear
that's
Injustice for Jason?
No. What's
Somebody
that?
took the tracks and pulled the bass out and put the bass back on top, and it sounds phenomenal.
Really?
Yeah.
Why did they do that?
Because Jason was lost in the mix in the other one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Really?
And Justice for Jason. Check it out. Newstead, you owe me money.
So did you start in Jersey?
Yeah, started in Jersey. I worked my way up through New York, New Jersey, hardcore era, playing metal. A lot of the people I knew were signed. El Nino, I grew up with. Mark from Soulfly. Twisted Sister guys. Misfits guys. Skid Row guys. I actually got my first songwriting gig with Joe Turner from Deep Purple.
Wow.
And I was just around all those people. So
Skid Row was like my favorite band when I was in middle school, dude.
Yeah, man. And around being around.
18 in life, we got it. 18 in life. You had to love Skid Row. Skid Row was.
I was
shit.
more like Maiden. I
love Maiden, but dude, Skid Row was like the chain from the nose to the ear.
Yeah.
It was more Maiden.
All right.
I like pick one and I go hard into that one.
All right.
That's just me.
We're talking about music, right?
Yeah. Maiden.
No. Okay, so keep going.
Yeah, so those guys, I learned the work ethic. And I learned that what you see on MTV and what you see in magazines is not real life. A lot of these guys are down to earth. A lot of these guys, I'm not going to name names, but they live paycheck to paycheck just like everybody else. And they live in a 2-story or 1-story, 1-family house with a modest life like everyone else. They get paid big money, but then when you got to pay back your record label or the loan you took out for an album or something, it all evens out. Wow. So I realized, I'm like, okay, so if you go the way of being a legend, right, which is what I wanted to be, I wanted to be somebody who was known for doing things well. Not necessarily famous, but known for doing things well. Yeah. And I said, okay, well, you can't really expect to get filthy rich. But then I noticed that all the guys that were really clowny and had gimmicks, those were the rich dudes. So the guys without the talent, totally banking because it was all...
You mean like Kiss?
No, but you know what? They were brilliant. They saw their weakness. They weren't, in their era, they weren't the best technical players. They were good players. So they decided to come up with a gimmick. And
the gimmick worked.
The gimmick worked.
But Gene Simmons is like a marketing machine.
A marketing machine. And you can't take that away from him. Yeah. But I chose the pure musician route. Yeah. And I knew what to expect. So you know, I've made business decisions that helped me not fall into that trap. Because I saw these guys are legends. And again, I'm not going to name names, but there were other guys around that core group of guys I mentioned who were, you know, big in the 80s, and they were living in a Winnebago or something. And I'm like, how did this happen?
That's crazy.
It's just bad business decisions.
Bad management.
Divorces.
A lot of cocaine.
A lot of drugs. You can't get married 3 times and divorced 3 times and expect everything to be okay. So I learned from them. I learned from all their mistakes. So I would ask questions. Hey, well, how did this happen? Well, how do you wind up here? Oh, taking notes. And I avoided that as much as I can. So, you know, life happens.
Smart.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's crazy. There's a lot of stories like that. Yeah. I won't name who it is, but a very famous band, a very famous metal band, you know, one of the musicians in the band, a friend of mine told me there was a time in like the 90s they were getting Grammys or like doing arenas, and he was working for a music manufacturer, like doing rep like for endorsements and stuff. And I was like, dude, I don't understand that. And he's, you know, they're like, well, he's married with kids, and you know, when you're not on the road. And I'm like, but you're still making millions, right?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And there's another one who has albums since the 90s that at least have 10 singles per album, making millions of dollars for the label, but the way they worded their contract, they're always in arrears. So they can never catch up. It's an impossible number of plays, impossible number of gross to make money back for themselves.
Oh, sucks.
It's just contract. Look, Fear Factory signed a 70-30. The first worst real contract ever in metal was when Fear Factory signed with Roadrunner. Everybody knows that. They basically went on tour for free. Roadrunner took 100% of their merch, and that's where all the bad...
Who would sign 100% of your merch away?
But once you do that once, then the record label say, now that becomes the norm. So the record labels are always going to push as far as they can go. Yeah. So you make one mistake, one good artist makes one mistake, everybody...
I just can't believe you'd give away 100% of merch.
That's what I heard 70, 30, or 100. I hear...
That's usually where the artist makes most of his money.
Between 70 and 100, that's too much. So record deals right now, if you want to get a real record deal, most people are like, okay, 100% merch, no back end, and you get a small advance, so you have to pay back at such and such percent. You don't need it.
That's insane.
There's still the guys that you know, that you need a record label in some ways. You know what I mean? It's like if you just do it slowly and manage it and sell it, but nobody wants to do all that work.
Nobody wants to do, but that's my plan. So that's always been my plan since the beginning, since before I saw this coming. See, what I thought when I was a kid, I was going to the world of Judas Priest and Iron Maiden. It's like, boy, you know, I cleared local, I cleared regional, I cleared national, I'm in international underground metal magazines. Now I'm a solo artist in pop magazines. Boy, any day now, it's going to be like arenas. And then right when I came into like myself, that's when the internet got too open. And everybody and their grandmother became a rapper. Yeah. Everybody and their grandmother. So the market...
Everybody had a metal band.
Yeah, and the market got so saturated that booking agents, record labels, and everybody froze the money because they didn't know what to do. It's like, who do we spend on? on? So I've just continued on that old school path. But that's me, you know.
That's the way you have to do it.
You have to do it.
That's the only way I truly respect, because it's like that's the way I do it with my own band. It's like you have to just manage it yourself and keep it under your own thing. But a lot of artists, I feel like there's a lot of artists that are like, well, I think I deserve more, which is totally fine. But deserving more and earning it are two different things.
Right.
To me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Eddie, does that make sense to
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, and you know what? I always knew what I deserved, and I always carried myself, but I knew that I had to work my way up to that reputation for everyone else.
Right.
So I know what I'm capable of. I know where I can
So what
get.
was your first metal band?
Let's see. I had a local metal band. Then I had another one that went national, which I'd rather not mention them. No free advert for you. and then I started working with all the big guys. And
That's
then,
crazy.
And I'll tell you what happened. My turning point for my career was this. Since I played fast, I got put into that Yngwie, Richie Blackmore thing. And it was cool for a while, but sometime in the early 2000s, all these Richie Blackmore frilly shirt-wearing clones came out.
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't want to be that. And
Eddie still wants to be
yeah,
that.
Eddie still wants
I'd love to be
no,
that.
but I love him. I love Richie Blackmore, Yngwie, Dave Mustaine's favorite guys. Eddie Van Halen too.
Yeah.
But I was getting pigeonholed in the way I was thinking about things. So Joel Turner had asked me to go to a concert with him in New York because he played with a couple of guys from different bands and people from Saturday Night Live. They did like this big shindig. He gave me the ride home. And I'm like, Joe, now that I have you here, you played with all the big guys and all the guys that I like growing up. I go, why do so many people want to be like them and I don't want to be like them and I don't want to be put in that hole. And he goes, kid, this is what you got to do. Whatever's on your mind, you do it. Forget the rest of them because nobody's ever going to be them and nobody's going to ever be you. So go be a solo artist, do whatever the hell you want. And from that moment on, that's when I became a solo artist in like this weird subgenre of metal where it's hard rock, metal, and folk.
Yeah.
I just became weird. I said, you know what? It's like taking a girdle off. I said, great. I don't got to look like these guys. Great. I don't have to sound like these guys. Great. When that happened, that's when everything took off. And everything went real well. I started charting in France. I did pop music with
Yeah, like
solos.
Europe metal's huge too.
Yeah, man. But that happened when I held his opinion in high esteem. So when he told me, I go, dude, just go do your thing. Turning point.
Wow.
I was like, yeah. So I've just been
I
doing my
can
thing.
be myself.
I can be myself. And the material you guys are going to play today was from an album 3 or 4 years ago it came out. But that was like just trying to be bare bones hard rock. The new album I have coming out was Tropical Depression is going to be all over the place. All over the place.
And what's the name? What's the significance
Of the new
name?
album? Tropical Depression. It's a pun on hurricanes and living in Florida.
Well, do we have anything from that record?
No, it hasn't come out yet.
Oh, okay. Do we have? Let's play something.
Yeah,
Do we
you got
have-
Marry Me Cindy, I think.
I got that and Bow Down.
Yeah, Bow Down. Go. It's nice and short and has a solo. on it.
Yeah, let's do it.
There we go.
Oh, my broken heart, yeah, slowly burn. Whoa, I'll tell you, baby, yeah, what I've learned. I need to buy down and change my ways. I need to buy down and change my ways. I need to buy down and change my ways, yeah. Need to buy down and change my ways. Trouble comes, yeah, trouble goes. Oh, people change, yeah, the world turns. I need to bow down and change my ways. My way. Need to bow down and change my ways. My way. Need to bow down and change my ways. Yeah. Need to bow down and change my ways. Yeah. Whoa.
Oh yeah, long outro. Eddie,
Nice.
that's
That
those
brings me
are
back
your
to
jams.
brings me back to middle school.
Yeah, you were just feeling like
Good stuff.
the guitar aggro-ness of it.
Oh,
Dude,
miss my flannels.
we don't miss your flannels.
I do. I miss them. I miss my back patch and my flannels.
So tell me, like, what was your concept behind that song? Like, what was the inspiration behind it?
So Bow Down is actually about feeling repentant and asking God for forgiveness.
Wow.
But in an aggro way, because everyone romanticizes trying to find Jesus or walk with Jesus. Usually when people turn to Jesus, it's because bad stuff has happened, and you put in a position where you have to, okay, I'm doing it wrong. It's not like, oh, hi, you're really cool. I like you in my life,
Right.
So that's that song's about. It's about like being in a place where you just
Like, fuck it.
you
Just
you
goddamn
can't. You just can't do anything, and that's why the guitar is really aggressive. I'm a concept writer. Kind of weird.
No, I like that.
Yeah.
So tell me, like, if you get a concept, you want to think of something that's
Yeah.
religious, political. Like, what's your vibe?
Anything that's going on. So I'm one of those guys. I'll pace around. So this is this, and then talk to myself. Oh, wait, write that down, okay, and then walk away 3 or 4 months, and then all of a sudden I have a riff, and I'll put the words on. Oh, this works, and yeah. But it starts with like some sort of idea. God, public comments by some political figure.
So I could have you write a song about Eddie, in theory.
I could. Yes, we can.
You don't want that.
I'll spend 5 minutes with Eddie.
You don't
We'll
want
write a song about
You
Eddie.
don't want that.
Can it be in a spooning?
Oh, spooning Eddie? No. Well, hey,
Can that
let
be
me
the
tell
title
you.
of the song?
Let me tell you, he was talking about Iron Maiden,
Yeah.
and Iron Maiden's mascot is Eddie.
Yeah.
Dude, there it is.
I've always been drawn to Eddie.
Number of the Ed.
Yeah.
Run to the Ed.
Did you ever go to metal shows when you were younger?
I've been to Maiden a couple times, but that's about it.
Did you ever play with Iron Maiden or any of those guys?
No.
You probably toured with some crazy metal bands.
Yeah, I've gone along as entourage and friends and special guests. But
Awesome.
I built my career intentionally like Floyd Mayweather.
Independent.
Independent and don't open for nobody. Top of the bill. Unless it's a festival. So they say, hey, show up for
Yeah.
Ozfest or whatever, if that's even still around. Sure. But if I'm playing Hollywood, I'm headlining.
I find like I
It's
open
weird.
and I headline. I do both, but I find my favorite slots are actually the opening slots.
You know why?
The headlining slots are easier.
The
But
headlines-
opening slots, there's more to prove.
And they're harder too because most people, especially Hollywood, don't
Yeah.
want to stay out after 11 on
Of
a
course,
weeknight.
of course.
So you have to fight once you unless they're diehard fans. Those people are going to stay for half your set. They're going to nod their head and go home.
Yeah.
So the sweet spot really is 9 to 11.
Yeah.
The mid-carders. The
Yeah.
opening guys, sometimes, their girlfriends are there or people are...
But I find that it's
Yeah.
easy to walk out on a stage,
Yes.
even if the whole room's packed. You say "Good evening" and everybody's cheering.
Yeah.
It's like that's easy. But when you go out there and the room's half full and like you gotta prove yourself and people have to stay or people like can leave or people can just not feel anything and talk. That's an amazing thing to have to go up against, and I like that challenge. I actually love that challenge.
Yeah, it's it used to be for me. It used to be a requisite. I felt like I was at war with the audience, and that's what.
No, that's kind of what it is.
That's
It's
really
very
not
true.
anymore. Now I'm just like whatever. I'm gonna do
Right.
my best. It comes across great.
Right.
But before you get it on, I'm always like, is the guitar okay? Is this guy standing there? Dude,
Right.
you look cool.
Right.
Don't slouch. It's like
Yeah.
it's like that. But once I get on the stage, I'm fine. And then after,
What about you, Eddie? What do you think when you open? Would you rather open for a big name or would you rather headline a show?
It's easier to middle
Why?
because there's no expectations, and you're either remembered or immediately forgotten. You remember, if you do
Yeah.
well, be like, that guy before the headliner was really funny. Or if you suck, they're just they don't even remember you and they just talk about the headliner. No one goes, that middle guy sucked. No one remember. If you suck, there's no pressure because if you suck in the middle, people only talk about the headliner. If you're really good in the middle, people are like, that guy before the headliner was really funny.
Let me ask you an honest question for both of you guys.
okay,
So let's say you are opening for somebody huge. Do you go full throttle, knowing that you could outshine them and it'll never give you the chance to open for that person again? Or do you play the game and do you do just enough that it makes you look good, but just enough to make them look better?
No, you do your best.
you do your best. You blow them out of the water,
That's
and then
what I
you-
say too.
Even when I headline and if I'm headlining a club and the feature comes up to me, he's like, "Is there anything you don't want me to do? Can you not want me to do crowd work or anything?" I was like, "No, do whatever you want to do. I don't care. If I can't follow you, I shouldn't be headlining."
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That's what I tell a feature, and they're like, "Oh, cool." Most headliners don't say that. I'm like, "Yeah, well, whatever. They
That's
suck."
awesome. That's awesome.
But that's what you tell them.
But that's no ego of you. You know.
Yeah, but it's also like I'm confident what I can do. I don't care what you do. You do your
Exactly.
job. I'll do mine.
Right.
Exactly.
And you already have the crowd.
Yeah.
That's the best part. But I've found that a lot of people,
If you can't follow your opener, then you shouldn't be
You
headlining.
shouldn't be headlining.
Yes, I agree.
Right.
No matter what they do. I don't care if they pull rabbits out of their ass. You should be able to follow
that
that.
should be part of your act.
You should be able to follow anything
Cadbury.
the opener does.
Cadbury
Yeah,
bunnies.
no, I agree. You know what I love too? There's two sides. It's like there's one side of it where I get a little like, I get a little aggro when I open for somebody.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god, I want to like show no mercy, you know. And then when you're headlining and you see a great band open for you, there's that moment where it's like, damn, this band's good, and I like that. I like when there's a great opening act, and you're like, man. And then you get up there and you're like almost like,
No, you want to follow good people. You want people leaving your show going, that was a great show from
Yes.
top to bottom. That
Yes.
was a great show.
That
Not
you're-
like picking different parts of it. You're like, that was fucking awesome. I want to go
Right.
see live music or live
Yes.
comedy again.
Yes.
Then you think like me. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, everybody needs to shine. I do my
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Nobody does it like
I
I
hate
do.
following
I'm
bad
fine.
comics.
Do your
It's the
thing.
worst.
Do your thing the best you can. I'll do my thing the best I can. Everybody sees a great show. Maybe they'll come back for a slate, because when I grew up, we used to do a lot of VFW shows. So bands used to be like slates. There was that metal band, there was the hardcore band, there was the punk band, and there was that weird chick thing that was going on in the 90s. And they all would go from VFW to VFW doing like this little slate.
Right.
And everybody liked it. So if everyone's shown, you had more of a chance of bringing the same kids to your show. That's totally gone today.
Yeah.
It's like, you're the headliner? What makes you mad at me?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, the fact that I sell more records and people like me more than you. That's not to be mean, but
Right.
I mean, it's like, you got to know if you're
Yeah.
coming up, come up. Take the years, take the time. Don't try to microwave everything. It doesn't work that way. You know?
But I feel like that's the age that we live in a little bit too.
Yeah.
It's like everybody wants the quick fix. Like,
But that's why they crash and burn, because life happens.
Yep.
You could have everything, every duck in a row, and you're like, oh wow, they're about to give me a record deal, and I'm going to get this car,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden they're like, ooh, music has changed, and we're going with a different genre. Sorry, bye.
yeah. No, and I find that
You know?
that acts that are like in the spotlight too. That's
Yes.
it's a hard thing to kind of always maintain. Like you're chasing this moving target that is almost impossible to just
Yeah.
always be ahead of the curve. You know. So some of the bands that you played shows with, festivals, just name off a couple that people that you loved, like bands that you were like, doesn't matter if they're huge or if they're not, just
I
bands that you love to play
loved. Let's see. So like I said, I was always a headliner.
You're right.
When I was younger, in other bands, Typo Negative, when they were around, Crisis, when they were around, and maybe 90s like metal bands. But once I became a solo artist, I wouldn't open for anybody. I just somehow turned into a Floyd Mayweather type thinker. I'm
You're
like, no.
that's it.
Well, because it's the branding too.
Right.
So I went for a certain branding. I'm like, look, I want to be a legend. I want to be a great guitar player.
Right.
As far as the marketing goes.
Right.
Okay. You don't do that playing, opening up for Johnny, what's his name at,
I love
pub,
Johnny Watts.
a pub in Nashville. You have to go out there and do big things and expect big resistance.
Yeah.
So I have half of the organized metal world against me because they are so mad that I didn't take the normal road. But what they
Right.
don't understand is I already paid my dues with many other bands and
Right.
big acts as a songwriter.
Right.
So my solo act is crispy and new, and to
Crispy,
them,
I like
crispy and new. Just came out of the bunning of it as far as perception is concerned. But before I was a professional solo act, I was also in global metal bands and working for global guys.
Right.
So I already paid my dues. I don't have to prove myself to Miss Facebook metal group lady.
Right.
So I have a different mentality. I'm like, I know where I belong. This is where I'm going. I'm going to take every step I can to get to where I want to go. Because I already did the tours in the back of a van.
Yeah.
Eating crackers, sleeping on someone's couch you never met. And
The van tours are
Yeah.
crazy.
They're awesome.
They're awesome. Like
Corey
you
Feldman
have the
went on
best.
one.
You have the best stories.
Yeah.
And like the most fun. But man, if I had to do that now, I'd be like, ooh, I don't know if I heard you.
No, once you're an adult and you've suffered enough, then wisdom sets in, and you're like, look, I don't want to have to share, the van with lunatics that
Yeah.
may kill me.
But I look back
Yeah.
at those memories,
It's
like
fun.
some of those drives and the laughter and just like the stupid stories, or like the funny thing about being a touring artist, you do experience things together with whoever you're touring with.
Yes.
Whether if you're part of the same act or you're touring in a band or whatever, like part of the same tour, you experience things together. So there's something about that that's really magical that you look back on. You're like, those were some good times.
Yeah, shooting up hotels.
You mean literally or figuratively?
Yeah, literally. There were BB guns, though. There weren't real bullets. But they were still shooting up hotels.
That's awesome.
There's a point where you're young and you want to be Def Leppard.
Yeah.
And you hear about everything everyone else has done.
Yeah.
And you try to emulate it.
Yes.
Oh, set the place on fire. No.
Right.
Not that, but,
Well, let's play your next track. What are we going to play?
I have no idea what I sent. I sent it while I was
My
done.
Love?
My Love.
Oh, this
You
is-
sent Eddie your love.
My Love.
My love for Eddie. So,
And
before
your last name's Michel, right?
Michel, yes.
Michel.
It is the Danish.
Oh, the
pronunciation.
Danish.
Yeah.
Sergio Michel, My
Michel.
Love.
Go for it.
You're invincible, clear like rain. My heart forever true, yeah. Until I meet you again. My love for you. My love for you. My love for you. My love for you. To another hardest of yeah. Count on me, my love. I'll never leave you alone. No. My love for you. 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 My love for you.
Yeah.
you, Hollywood!
Eddie's got your metal voice,
I know.
dude.
Metal.
I always feel like your inner voice is a metal rock god, Eddie.
Miss my long hair.
You had long hair?
Shoulder.
Yeah, that's still long.
Yeah.
Wow. You gotta bring
More
pictures.
more Kurt Cobain-ish than
You gotta send a picture. You've got.
Yeah, he's got the blue eyes and everything.
Yeah, you gotta seriously.
Down to here.
That may have to be your new headshot.
I wish. Can't grow it that long anymore.
Why not?
The top does not grow.
Party in the front?
No.
Business
No,
in front.
I don't want to look like Hulk Hogan. Thank
Why
you very
not?
much.
Why not? Dude, you love wrestling. I'm disappointed to hear
Let me
you
tell
say
you
that.
something.
I don't want to
You
look
should
like
grow
Hulk
your
Hogan.
hair.
Oh,
Brother.
dude, the crowd is
Brother.
booing,
Man,
Eddie.
keep booing. I'm not growing that hair out anymore.
Oh, seriously. Calm down. So where did you record the record?
Surprisingly, on my laptop.
You did the whole thing in your laptop?
The whole thing by myself. Mastered it.
Did you use Logic or did you use
No.
Pro Tools?
What did I use for that one? I used Cubase and Cakewalk to master.
So what did you use for your guitar amps? Did you mic the guitar amps?
Yes, I used a
What?
Fender 2x12. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. With here we go. See, endorsement plug with a cam microphone RT1.
There you
A
go.
ribbon tone microphone. So what I did, everything I put in the chain was to make it sound retro. So it's a ribbon tone emulator microphone made by Cam Industries. And then I used a tube preamp to make that a little stronger, and then I mic'd the cab with it straight in. So I know how to fool ears.
Wow.
So I want you to hear 70s.
That's
you'll hear
crazy.
What about the drums?
the drums did myself.
You played them?
Patches,
Wow.
pads. I did a whole album one hit at a time.
Damn. That's patience.
Yeah, that is
Jeez.
patience.
That's a lot of patience. I don't have that kind of
Yeah,
patience.
I know. Yeah, but that's what I get. Like I told you, I get in that maniacal kind of like evil genius thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay, and I'll do this, and I'll walk away for 2 months, and I'm like, and
Damn,
yeah.
dude. How long did it take you?
This one took me a week because I just got mad. I was sitting around. I'm like, okay, the album cover's done. Everyone knows about it. All the stores, the distro's ready. Then I heard an interview with like David Lee Roth when Different Kind of Truth came out, and he goes, "Oh, we just went in the studio and we just hammered it out in a week." I said, "I can do that," and I did it.
It's ambitious.
That's it.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm easily motivated.
So you had everything set up and then made the album?
Yeah,
That's crazy. How did you do that?
just one day I said, you know what? I'm gonna track from Monday to Wednesday, and then I'm gonna.
But
do
you had the album cover done before you even had a song.
everything done. Everything done. The
That's
album cover, the
crazy.
titles, everything. I just filled in the blanks.
Wow.
Weird cat. I'm telling you, I do everything backwards.
Wow.
But it works. It works for me.
You're like, I'm going to... Well, you know what? You should just, like, play the stadium and then bring the crowd.
Yeah,
later.
exactly. Look, dude, just do a hologram over on Hollywood.
Just break into the bowl and start playing, and then people will show up.
Yeah, if you break in, they will come.
See? I like that. Now that's metal.
That's
right?
crazy.
Yeah.
Who are your biggest influences as far as players and bands?
Okay, let's see. Yngwie Malmsteen, Dave Mustaine, Eddie Van Halen, obviously. Apparently, Tom Waits subconsciously. Let's see, and Ann Wilson from Heart. Her phrasing,
I would not have expected you to say
love
that.
it. Love her
Would not
phrasing.
have, I would have not have
Really?
looked at you and said, "This guy definitely loves Heart."
Loves Heart. Till now.
What about Rolling Stones?
Oh, here's the hot topic. So for
What about Van Halen?
Yeah, Eddie, of
Megadeth?
course. Megadeth. Yeah. Well, here's a weird thing about me. I love Urge Overkill, the Afghan Wigs, and Depeche Mode. Big time influence.
I wouldn't have thought you would listen to Depeche Mode too.
Big time influences. They're all Beatles derivatives.
Right.
I don't like the Beatles.
Whoa.
Not into the Rolling Stones.
What?
Not into the Yardbirds. Led Zeppelin, sure.
What about Eric Clapton?
No.
Stevie Ray Vaughan?
Yes.
Jimi Hendrix?
No.
No on Jimi Hendrix? Why?
Even though I sound
He's so good.
Even though I've been accused of sounding like when I play live, I do a lot of improvised wah pedal stuff.
Yeah.
I think subconsciously by listening to them, but I never gravitated to the Beatles. I gravitated to Deep Purple, so I went Deep Purple, Rainbow, Alcatraz. That was my early '60s. Even MC5, you know. But I hear the Beatles on the radio. I'm like, what do people see in this?
Wow. That's crazy. Crazy talk.
Yes, it is. But everyone that's been influenced by them directly, I love.
Yeah.
I just can't stand them.
I love them. I love
Wow.
all
I
that
recognize
stuff.
the genius. I recognize the songwriting. They're
He's-
talented.
he's
I feel that way about soccer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, you could run.
I
and
recognize the
kick
genius and the athleticism, but fuck, I can't stand
it.
it.
No, I can't.
Yeah, well,
I
it's
can't
the
do
chess of
Yeah, it's not- there's nothing to say.
And you fall down and you pretend you're hurt.
And you got some shows coming up, right?
Yes.
What are you playing?
So the 31st, I'm headlining the Whiskey A Go-Go this month.
Classic.
And June 1st, headlining the Saban Theater in Beverly Hills.
That's gonna be awesome.
Awesome. And Yngwie's the next day. So.
And who? What?
And Yngwie's the next day.
That's
The
awesome.
second.
At the Saban?
Yeah, so it's like Shred City that week.
Shred.
So come to
City
see me
Saban.
and tent outside for him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is there a website? You have a website and all that stuff? Or
Yeah, SergioMichel.com. And if you go to any search
Spell it
engine-
out because people are dumb.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so here's the Facebook. SergioMichel Music. Sergio Michel Music. That's Facebook. Twitter is S Michel Music. So just how I spelled it, but just S, not Sergio. SergioMichel.com. SergioMichel.com. Let's see what else is there. Reverb Nation is Sergio Michel. And just go into any search engine. Put my
So
name
just
in.
Google
Stuff.
Sergio
Google.
Michel.
Just Google it. It's like
that'll pop everything
Easy.
up.
you Google
Easy, breezy, cover
You-
girl.
I'm a you Googleizer.
Google.
Great quotes. I
Yes.
love that. Well, Sergio, thank you for being a guest. Thank you for making it on
Yes.
time. I was worried. I was like, man,
I made it. Who else's car blows up,
Yes.
has incompetent mechanics, destroying
12
it, and
hours.
still makes it on
dude,
time,
I'm
man?
giving you some applause.
Thank you so much.
And the cock of approval just for that.
Blue, you're my boy.
Well, Sergio, we're going to definitely have you back.
Will
Thank you
do.
again. And on behalf of Eddie and I, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.